Nityanandam, Nithyanandam, Harihara Rupam, Shakti Swarupam, Sachidanandam, Nithyanandam, Harihara.
Nithyanandam Paramasukadam, Kevalam Jnanamurtim, Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham, Tattvamasyaadilaksham, Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam, Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam, Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam, Sadgurum Tam Namami.
Nithyanandam, and a very warm welcome to one more exciting Nithyananda Satsang. What makes Satsang so exciting? The unexpectedness. We never know exactly what Swamiji is going to say. We also never know what each other are going to say. It's that spontaneous, active, dynamic energy that makes this such a joyful part of the day. What's even more exciting about today is that we're going to get the next depth, the next powerful revelation about something very dear to all of our hearts, and by nature of the fact that you're watching this, I know it's very dear to your heart also, and that is the guru-disciple relationship. Swamiji has spoken about the physics and the chemistry of guru-disciple relationship. In case you didn't see those beautiful satsangs, or if you'd like your memory to be jogged just a little bit, what exactly he said about the physics of the guru-disciple relationship is that the physics means closeness, being in his breathing space, being around the avatar. When we are physically near to the Guru, walking on the land graced by his own feet, eating the food prepared in his own kitchen, breathing the very air that has been inhaled and exhaled by him, that's gone to Kailasa and come back, we experience that beautiful happening in which the relationship starts to blossom. But what is the chemistry of the guru-disciple relationship? The chemistry goes even beyond the physics and takes us to the level in which even physical nearness becomes obsolete. Chemistry is all about substance, depth, and actual transformation. If you go into any chemist's lab, you'll see beakers and petri dishes where different substances are mixed with different other substances, reactions occur, and they become something new entirely. Ultimately, why do we come to the Guru? It always happens with the moment that feels kind of like falling in love, but is actually a rising. How many of you feel when you look at Swamiji, you just feel joy for no reason? You feel excited. Sometimes there's tears of bliss. You're not sad. It's an emotion unlike any other. Great. All of your hands are showing you're really catching the same thing we're feeling. This is like the secret crush on the cosmos. For whatever reason that falling in love happens, or that rising in love happens, it's going to take us on a journey unlike the journey of any other typical relationship. With an ordinary person, what happens when you fall in love? You decide to spend your lives together, to work towards common goals. Maybe you decide to buy a house, have a family, have kids, if that love is reciprocated. Or you feel crushed and heartbroken and desolated. But what happens when that love is applied to the cosmos himself in form? To Mahasannidhanam, Parashiva and Parashakti, embodied in the avatar. When that love happens, the course of the relationship is much, much different. First and foremost, you never have to worry about whether it's reciprocal or not, because you can never fall in love with him unless first he's in love with you. The Guru's grace is such that when he feels love for you, that love fulfills you, overflows in you. Those tears of joy are nothing but his love for you coming back in the form of your love for him. But is that all? Definitely not. The first step is to bring yourself physically close to him. That's the physics of the guru-disciple relationship. The chemistry is when you make the powerful decision to live with the powerful cognitions which he's giving to all of us. What is a powerful cognition? It's the realization that you are the space creating everything you experience inside you and as life. Your inner space is not a reaction to the outer world. So many people have this chemistry all wrong. They'll think, if Ma Mahayoga is really nice to me right now, I'll be happy on stage, but if she turns and beats me with that microphone, I'll be really sad and my life will be horrible. Do I look sad? Is my life horrible? No. And once you pinched me and it really did leave a bruise.
Oh, I did. There's absolutely no control over what I do on stage.
No, a warning to Matrayaksha. Anyhow, as long as we feel our inner space is a reaction to the outer world, we'll be powerless. Everyone else around us, their opinion of us will determine whether or not we feel confident. Their niceness to us will determine whether or not we are happy. Their meanness to us will determine whether or not we're sad. That's the pure, powerless inner space that has no control, no decision-making capacity, no creator capacity over existence. The powerful cognition Swamiji is giving to all of us is Sada Shivoham. We experience that Sada Shivatva in which we live the state, radiate the space, and manifest the Shaktis, the superpowers of Sadashiva. He will never be in that powerlessness that decides if people praise him, he's valid. If people insult him, he's less. In his space of Swayam Prakasha, self-effulgence, self-fulfillment, there's no question about the fact, the very real fact, the reality, that he is the source of everything, that existence itself happens in his sea. Wherever his eyes land, creation happens there as he decides. Now, when he's giving us the space of becoming him, that same powerful cognition is given to all of us. If we take it, live with it, decide, yes, my inner space determines my outside experience, so I am always going to be in the space of powerfulness. If somebody beats me with a mic, I choose to feel that as pleasure and fun and an expression from a friend. Not as some big mean, oh my God, I'm being bullied. And then what happens? That's what it is. When we decide that our space creates the reality in which we live, we manifest the ultimate reality. This is when the individual conscious breakthrough becomes the global superconscious breakthrough for all humanity. Imagine when each and every one of us gathered here now understands this beautiful chemistry. That the powerful cognitions Swamiji is giving to all of us are not just theory and philosophy. That they are literally the guidebook by which we can live our lives in such a way that whatever we want happens simply by nature of the fact that we know it's the reality. We're often caught in desires that don't come true. We wish for something, we pray for something. We wonder, when Swamiji is my guru and I'm asking for this again and again and again, why don't I have it? That means we're not manifesting the powerful cognition. Existence is like the Divine Mother. Imagine if you have a child and you see your kid is always holding one specific toy, maybe a teddy bear, maybe a truck, maybe a blanket for security. What do you assume? You assume the child likes that. You'll never yank it away from your child. When the birthdays come or the holidays come, you'll give more of what that kid is always holding on to. Mahasannidhanam, Parashiva, Parashakti respond to us exactly the same way. As cosmic father and mother, they'll see what we're holding on to and they will give us more and more and more of that. So if you're holding on to this powerless idea that you're a victim and that your prayers are never answered and that no matter how much you want something, you never get it, existence is going to give you tatastu and say, see, look, this kid is holding on to this idea that she's a victim. She must love playing that role and holding that identity. Here are more reasons to feel like a victim. Then what happens when we manifest the powerful cognition? When we suddenly get the click, the cognitive shift happens, that we're creating the reality we experience. Suddenly we know what Swamiji means when he says to drop it and create a space. When these powerful cognitions land in us, the ultimate chemistry of the guru-disciple relationship is accepting the proposal given to us by the guru. When that mutual love is expressed, he doesn't come to us with a ring saying, "Will you marry me? Will you be my wife?" He comes to us with the proposal saying, "Will you become me?" Mahasannidhanam is here in the form of the most glorious avatar, His Holiness our Bhagavan Paramahamsa Shri Nithyananda Swamiji. And when we feel this love for him as disciples, the best thing we can do is accept his proposal and say yes to those powerful cognitions to become him. Now, Ma Mahayoga, as the one who gives us the training and helps us to manifest these powerful cognitions to also manifest Shaktis, I personally have benefited from it when you've shared with us the best way we can manifest a power is to drop the idea that it's not manifesting yet at Swamiji's feet.
Yes.
And this happens every time. When we grasp it and do it, the Shaktis just flow. In your experience, working with so many thousands of people, how does this chemistry express in someone who gets it as a psychological understanding? Maybe intellectually they know it's real. Okay, I'm holding this, I'm manifesting a reality I don't want, but how do I drop it?
Ma Swarupa Priya, actually this question can be answered when we visit the basics of what people feel in a relationship. You were talking about a husband and wife, you were talking about relationships in general, even between a mother and child. This whole idea of chemistry in our world presently, we always equate chemistry with love. Any place we go, you see a couple in a relationship.
Yes.
If they look really happy, if they look like they're flowing in sync with each other, we just feel, wow, what chemistry.
Yes.
If we go to the movies and we see an actor and an actress on screen, we say, wow, what chemistry. It does not feel like they're acting at all. And if we see a team that works with great team spirit, then we talk about the team chemistry. If we talk about students really having fun with their teachers, then we talk about the student and teacher chemistry. This is all before we come to the guru-disciple relationship and the guru-disciple chemistry. Over there, I remember reading this in a book by Swamiji. I think the book's name is You Are No Sinner. He says the greatest sin is the guilt that you have. And in that book, Swamiji says, love is highly underrated and so is chemistry. He says, when you're talking about oneness, where is the question of missing chemistry with another person?
Wow.
A lot of people, they get out of relationships. I've seen some of my friends, I've seen people in my own family, I've had personal experiences like that, where you go through a relationship and suddenly you feel the chemistry is like ebbing away. Basically, Swamiji says, you are no longer new to each other. If you dedicate yourself to being new for the other person, or if another person dedicates themselves to being new for you, such a relationship never ever runs out of even the basic kind of love. And such a basic kind of love is also extremely healing for your body. Swamiji says even a child's first love on an ice cream, on a puppy, on something that's bright and colorful. You see how kids go when they want to touch something, they just go and grab it. And then they like bang it, they do whatever they want, and then they can't control their joy, so they're laughing. At that point, they are experiencing chemistry. You know what I feel? I feel the chemistry is the intelligence behind the feelings you develop in a relationship. Feelings are reactions, but chemistry is the intelligence. Like how we say, seeing is an actual conscious action. Looking is just a reaction. If you say, Mahayoga, I look at you. But if I've got to do a power manifestation and see, that becomes an experience for people experiencing the powers of our third eye. So it really feels like, even in an ordinary relationship, I mean, what we call as ordinary, but that's how we all start off. The first relationship is with your mother. If there is an incompletion there, have you ever seen like where the mother loves the baby is not enjoying much with the
Yes.
mother? They choose the dad more, they choose the grandparents more. Do you
Yes.
know why that happens? Because the intelligence, the chemistry between them has been lost, or it has been ebbed away. Swamiji always says, see, for example, you are holding this mic. Your hand is capable of doing this action. But there's an intelligence behind this hand which is capable of teleporting to all of you. Teleporting any sacred material to all of you. There is an intelligence behind the hand which is capable of blessing everyone. So there is something called matter, and then there is an intelligence behind it. Thoughts, the thought currents that contribute to, that make you feel you are in a relationship, those thought currents are matter. But the intelligence behind that is a chemistry. When that is healthy, when the intelligence is still intact, then you feel you are in love. But then the same person 2 days later will suddenly feel, oh my God, I can't feel anything. Where did it go? It is like, I should give you this example. A person who came for, not Mahasannidhanam, for, which program is that? For Sadashivam, was it?
Which year?
No, this time only, recently. So I think it was for Mahasannidhanam. She was so in love with Swamiji. Like, she will walk shivering. She'll be like, I'm seeing Swamiji everywhere. I'm seeing Swamiji everywhere. All that kind of stuff. Okay? But anybody she sees, she'll melt to tears and all. If she sees a brahmacharni, she'll be like, oh my God, you're so lucky. You've sacrificed your life. You've come here. You're getting to live with Swamiji. I am also soon going to come and live with Swamiji. I love him so much, and it was the first time coming here directly for a big program. So even I was excited. I was like, wow, you know, there's somebody here, lot of feeling connection. Then darshan happened, and Swamiji arrived, completely covered with gold and rudrakshas. Some gorgeous, really complex hairdo, as Sadashiva will wear. And there was like a heavy light show. And Swamiji came and gave darshan. After that, I went running to the woman and I said, hey, did you enjoy yourself? She just gave me one frozen look and said, I think I made a big mistake. I was like, excuse me? I actually thought she had bipolar or something at that time. Because it was such an extreme reaction. I told, what happened to you? She said, look, I fell in love with the Swamiji who does not wear any jewelry.
Oh.
And I fell in love with the Swamiji who I saw on YouTube sitting on a regular, throne. And he had no jewelry on him, no fancy clothes. And then she was like, here I'm seeing him full of embroidered clothes and all this stuff on him and all that gold, all these backgrounds. I'm not able to feel anything for him now. Then I told her, no, do not go out of the spot. And just be here. And I told, when you're in love, at least even the basic kind of love, can't you give the freedom for the person to, project themselves the way they want to? And then she was mulling over it, thinking about it. Later we found out there's a pattern that she's developed in her life because her family used to call her characterless and God knows what all, because she started earning a lot of money in her life. And because of that, she gave up everything and decided to be like a single parent and work very hard and completely lives away from the family. She just does not entertain the family at all. Now over here in this scenario, what do we think happened? There are certain thought currents that develop in you when you're seeing Swamiji in a certain way. The chemistry, the intelligence behind that feels really strong. But because the intelligence behind the thought currents you share about the family members who have treated you badly for having a lot of wealth, because those thought currents exist, when you see Swamiji heavily covered with gold and jewelry and finery and all of that, those thought currents come and interfere. Now it is a matter of which is more powerful, which is a more powerful cognition. What you felt towards the family, those thought currents, or what you felt towards Swamiji, those thought currents. They collide. Once they collide, whatever wins, that is the side you go towards. And you give it the label of, I'm not feeling connected to him, so let me take off. How many relationships have we destroyed in our life using this? Just think back and see. That is the reason why in this whole chemistry of a guru-disciple relationship, the frequency of the intelligence behind these thought currents is so high that, and of course it is made high by those powerful cognitions that you were speaking of. Powerful cognitions coming from Swamiji, from the space of enlightenment. It is so high that no other thought current can have the power to violate you. No other thought current has the power to win you over. This actually answers a lot of relationship related trouble you may have with your car, you may have with your puppy, you may have with your pets, your family, your boss, your employees, with anybody. It is like this, Swarupapriya. It's like, fine, we got a lot of powerful thought currents from Swamiji about Varanasi. So for us, the moment we land in Varanasi, even if 10 monkeys come and sit on us, we're like, Hanuman!
Yes.
Oh my God, and we'll start making videos and selfies and all of that immediately. The post will go on Facebook. You will want to be here seeing our pictures.
Yes. Somebody will steal our footwear from outside of a temple and we celebrate the fact they've taken our karma. And we get to walk barefoot in those sacred streets.
Exactly. If there's a big nail that goes inside us, we're like, blood had to leave from that place. Kala Bhairava has completed me. I recently got bitten by a dog and I was like, when all that blood poured out, I was in a lot of pain. And then I was like, no, this is the only part of me that is susceptible, that thinks of I, that chooses to suffer. Yes. So when the blood flowed, I was in a lot of pain. And in the end, I said, no, if it happened in Kala Bhairava's presence, in Adi Kailash, in Swamiji's home, the powerful cognitions took over.
Yes.
And just made me feel, Kala Bhairava just knows. So I put a post on Facebook the next day telling, Kala Bhairava's completions for me are always swift, dramatic and very romantic. So please understand, chemistry is the intelligence behind our thought currents. That chemistry, whether you want to make it or break it, is really in our hands.
Yes.
That is the reason why we get the power to make or break the chemistry, because the powerful cognitions that fuel the intelligence comes directly from Swamiji. Directly from Swamiji. That's the reason why, actually today for Trayaksha, she's got a splendid psychology background and she's very young. And Swamiji has told her vision from him is, change the face of psychology in the world. Because every bit that we have termed as psychology is like some utter bogus, even if you heard what the three of us have shared with you today, let alone what Swamiji is going to come and share with you on the Guru-disciple chemistry. Yes. He says even the ordinary love between two people or between you and an inanimate object, like you see a new phone and you're like, I've never seen anything so beautiful in my life. I gotta have that. There was once a person, Swarupapriya, he told me he has got a big problem with his wife. They don't have any chemistry, nothing. I told him, you please go and buy her shoes every day. And the relationship healed. They stopped divorce.
Wow.
It's not a joke. I'll tell you why. See, she has got a spending habit, but she spends only on shoes. And he cannot understand why some human being will spend on shoes. And there's a huge tiff over there. And he's like, our financial thing is not compatible. Therefore, we don't have chemistry. and or naturally you don't have anything else as well, so go. And then he was like, look, I'm fighting with my wife for her expenditure and you want me to buy her shoes every day. And I said, go for the most expensive. But when, see, till date, he had never ever bought his wife a shoe. Listen very carefully to what I'm about to say. And the wife, even though she bought many, she could not feel satisfaction that this next shoe is going to be the love of my life. She could not feel that satisfaction. So she kept on buying. And big brands. This guy never understood what it meant for her to receive. So when I told, you go and, by the way, this was a reading through the third eye, so it can never be wrong. So I told him, you go buy her the most expensive shoe that you can find. Diamond studded shoe, please go do it. Whatever you can afford till now. So he said, fine. He took his wife and he did not tell her what he's going to do. He went, I don't know, I think he went to Jimmy Choo or something like that, and he bought some really deadly looking shoes and he gave that to her as a gift. She melted in the shop and cried and cried and cried and cried, and after that never went and bought a shoe. What do you think happened here? In her childhood, there were few things that she wanted to get, and that was taken away from her, and after that always denied. She always wanted somebody to know what she wants and just give it to her. She wanted to feel that it's effortless to receive what she loves. This guy had never seen what it feels like to give and to see what causing someone's reality does to them. Through the third eye, when this revelation was done and given, and he actually went and kept his word and did it, bought the shoe, went for whatever he could afford, there was an immediate change. He was like, how is it possible that buying a shoe? I bought this woman so many things before. She never bothered about it. It's about what she loves, not about what you think she should have. Again, the whole point is, they were not able to see it. Why? Because behind the reasoning they have, behind the thought currents they have, the intelligence was lost. The intelligence that we call as chemistry. Many times me and Swarupa Priya and Treyaksha, you all may think, okay, there are teleprompters over here or something. There is nothing. We don't even prepare. The chemistry between us is such, or between any of the Gurukul Balasans who we just bring. 2 minutes before the curtain opens to all of you and we say, Nithyanandam, welcome to the Satsang. People think that we have done a lot of preparation. There's zero.
No.
I mean, I wish we had done something, but then like we just don't. And everyone, we just know this is where the person's going to talk. The next, this is how you're going to do. Somehow it all just ends up matching with what Swamiji is going. Because the intelligence behind our thought currents is that Sadashiva. If anybody wants to experience each other as God, as divine, you want to raise the frequency of your love, you want to experience love like you have never experienced before, it is time to instill intelligence, divine intelligence of the third eye into or behind your thought currents. It's like you've got the matter and then you have the soul. The soul is the intelligence behind the body. Like that, every matter has got a strong intelligence behind it. Actually, that is what Swamiji says. Light and then anti-light, sound, anti-sound. On what it reflects matters. For on the day with the shoe example, that guy's love, how much ever it was remaining, it got reflected on the unmanifested thought currents of that woman. That is the reason why she derived such satisfaction, like the soul satisfying feeling. Now, we know all of this because it's a third eye download for us. But in terms of modern psychology, define love, define chemistry, and let's define, forget about guru-disciple relationship. Swamiji says you can be a guru-disciple to yourself. Why do you think so many people live in self-hatred, but outside they say, I'm happy? It's like a robot saying, I'm charged up, I can walk, I can talk. Why do you think that is?
I think when it comes to any human relationships, the main thing is that there's always a clash of egos. So even when we say chemistry, you don't ever find a relationship like a guru-disciple relationship where you have two people giving each other, you don't have two people giving each other powerful cognitions.
Right.
It is simply a power game. So living in that kind of environment, and that is why so many of us take sannyas. Sannyas is nothing but
good point.
the decision to say no to all of those relationships and only say yes to that relationship between you and the Guru, where you're only being constantly empowered, constantly being given powerful cognitions and having the right chemistry.
Let's expand a little bit on that whole sannyas thing. Swamiji says, sannyas is the space where you are complete unto yourself. Whatever love you want from others, whatever knowledge you want from others, in that space, you find everything right here. And he says, whether you are married, whether you are a sannyasi, for enlightenment, you have to have the space of sannyas. When that is the case, I always wondered, why this whole thing about chemistry and love and the intelligence behind the thought currents is not taught to us at school. They teach you sex education, they teach you about hormones and biology. Nobody teaches you about why you feel the way you do.
And even love is reduced to something which is a bunch of hormones reacting in you.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Love is taught to us in school as just the reaction of hormones in our body, not as a beautiful emotion that expresses, or I don't think we can even call it an emotion. It's
Right.
beyond that.
Now, I think over here, a very important point has got to be made. If you go to Kumbh Mela, you will see yogis whose hormone levels are like at zero. For Swamiji himself, that is the case. But they say only if you've got oxytocin, you will feel very much in love. And with whoever that oxytocin gets, it produces itself. Like when a mother has a baby, and then it's the oxytocin that does not want her to throw it out and oh my God, you caused me so much pain. And you hug the baby instead. But if all the hormones are at the level of zero, then also you feel that wave, that tsunami of what you call as love, feeling, connection. Where do you think that comes from? That comes from the intelligence behind the hormone, the intelligence behind the matter. I have seen people in the US, they want to get pregnant, so the doctor tells them, continue to take growth hormone so that you will be kept young and your body will delude itself into thinking you need to produce more eggs. I was so shocked. This diagnosis is given to an intelligent person who is educated at some of the best schools, has all the money the world can provide, and then also went to a top class doctor, and the doctor says this. It taught me that there is no intelligence behind the word. Actually, when Swamiji says have integrity, I understood it is an intelligence behind the word. When the intelligence is lost behind the word you give, it is not just like, hi Triaksha, let's go eat strawberry jam today. And then if we don't do it, and then there's like a break of integrity. No. When you say, let's go have strawberry jam today, the intelligence, the amount of intelligence behind those words determines whether it's going to happen, whether me and she even forget about it. Even if we forget about it, the intelligence is operating independently. The chemistry of a guru-disciple relationship is all about restoring the intelligence behind all the thought currents you have related to relationships.